Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily podcast. Now, yes, it's true, it might not feel like it all the time, but we are living in exciting times, especially for network security, because cloud, mobility and 5G are all creating massive opportunities for both security vendors and companies to deliver and consume expertise-grade security all through the cloud. But our world and the way we work has dramatically changed over the last few years. But the big question I want you all to think about today is, why hasn't our approach to cybersecurity? And the spark for today's conversation was having read these words on the website of a company called Perimeter 81, and they are on a mission to build a future without cumbersome legacy hardware, and envisioning a future where dozens of fragmented security tools are effectively merged into one. And I think we can all agree that is a much better destination to head towards. So, having learned all this, I invited their co-founder on the podcast to reveal more, and thankfully, he said yes. So, buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to New York, where Amit Bareket is waiting to share his story today. So, a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yes, so hi Neil, it's great to be here. My name is Amit. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Perimeter 81. I'm a tech entrepreneur and have been that for a long time. 81 is a cybersecurity company based out of Tel Aviv, New York, and LA. I'm personally next to New York. I work from our New York office. What we do is basically building the new firewall. You probably heard about the term SASE, Secure Access Service Edge, but what it actually means that companies today are moving their networks from the on-prem infrastructure and site-centric security to the open internet. Today, employees are working outside the offices and resources are moving to the cloud, which basically changed the way everyone are working. And there is an opportunity here to make a revolution, not evolution, in the way that companies consume network security. And that is our mission here in Perimeter 81. My background is R&D and product. Since I was very small, back in Israel at that time, I was very into computers, developing programs and applications, and I served in a elite technology unit in the Israeli Defense Force. After I finished my army service, I studied computer science at Tel Aviv University, where I've actually met my co-founder, Sagi Gidali. Went to work for IBM, XAV, which was a storage brand. Then I founded a security company for consumers named Safer VPN. Together with Sagi, we end up sending that to J2 Global, a public company in the States, and starting with Perimeter 81, 2018, which is what drove us so far. And happy to be here today.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for taking the time to sit down and talk about Perimeter 81 with me today. And for people that are listening and hearing about you for the first time, what would you say sets Perimeter 81 apart from your competitors, and what do the majority of your customers come to you and ask for your help with?
Right. So the area that we are working on is probably the hottest and most high growth segment in cybersecurity, which is network security. Because of that revolution that the resources are moving to the cloud, employees are working outside the office, and the network security, which is a $50 billion market or more, is not longer advocate for this new reality. And so there is a large room for innovation and revolution, just like you can think about like the smartphone and what Apple did to that segment, right, when things have changed. In Perimeter 81, the way that we differentiate ourselves between our competitors, which can be very large and successful in public companies like Zscaler, for example, is the fact that we've, since the beginning, invested in building a great product. And we differentiate it by ease of use. So instead of having the complex with product and implementation that fits maybe the large enterprise need, right? We took a different approach where let's build a simple and easy to use solution. 5G and fiber are basically transforming the connectivity and making a fast internet available anywhere, which allows even the largest enterprises of the world to move away from the complex and high cost infrastructure, right? To build a secure corporate network over the open internet, right? And that basically a trend that will continue over time as the internet will continue to develop. It will simplify the complex enterprise network, right? And this is where we will meet. When today we have more than 2,800 business customers that are utilizing our platform to basically build a secure corporate network over the open internet. And that simplicity and ease of use is a key driver. And what we believe will happen, that even the larger enterprises, right, will look for that easy and simple to use solution, as it simplifies the way that you manage the network and increasing security because of it.
And there's certainly seems to be a move towards proactive approach to cybersecurity rather than reactive. And we've seen this in our everyday lives with burglaries. People typically don't get a burglar alarm till after they've been burgled. So people that are coming to see you, have they been victims of cyber attacks, and what kind of attacks are pushing them to rethink their security, or are they being more proactive right from the outset? What trends are you seeing there?
Yeah, so our go-to-market model is basically based on inbound. Okay, yeah. So companies are coming to us where they have a pain and they need a painkiller, right? It's always easier to sell or to drive a painkiller than a vitamin. And definitely we see many of our customers have came out to us because they have experienced cyber attacks, or in order to continue and operate their business because the reality have changed and they need to open up their networks to allow people to work from it, driving them to basically reduce the security posture of the organization, which puts them in immediate threat, right, on a daily basis. So this is definitely something that we see every day. The different attacks that have been, our customers have been suffering from are either denial of service or phishing attacks or ransomware. Eventually, we allow businesses to build a secure corporate network over the internet, but the use cases that we provide are relatively basic use cases like internet security, right? Everyone needs internet security. And all the time, when you browse the internet, you have different threats, right? You encounter it every day, like emails and links that people are sending in. Most of the people are aware of it, that it's a phishing link, but all you need is one employee, right, to make a mistake. Even if you have 1,000, 5,000 employees, right, who receives a malicious link, and all you need is one employee to click it. And this is something that you eventually need to move from, as you mentioned, being passive about it to be proactive about it, right? And we see that still we are just in the beginning of that awareness of cybersecurity, but definitely the different attacks, the day-to-day threats that you're encountering on is a big facilitator.
It really is. And just for anybody listening, especially business leaders, etc., I'm curious, from the conversations that you're having, what risks are businesses facing right now when it comes to cybersecurity? Because you said a few moments ago, everybody realises that they need some form of internet security or cybersecurity. So what should they be doing differently to better address these threats as well?
I think the biggest threat or change is the fact that our business model have changed from working inside the office, where you basically need to protect the office and provide the site-centric security. Now, employees, you're working from home, you work from home. I myself am now at home. And it basically breaking all the security posture that the organization have built for years. But business comes first, right? And they need to continue to allow making business, right? And to allow their employees to access the resources securely. So it ending up them opening up their networks, right? And making and reducing the security posture. And I think this involves a great amount of risk that today is exposed, right, in different servers and applications that are basically open to the open internet and allowing any malicious actors, right, to attack and to utilize these breaking points. And that is basically a great risk, in my opinion, and it will take time until companies will adjust their security instruments, right, to fit that. Because imagine you have a business, you invested, let's say, millions of dollars into the infrastructure and the security items, which are not longer relevant. And sometimes people not tend to look forward, but also look backwards, right? And don't understand that the reality have changed. So until that will happen, and probably it will take about 4 or 5 years for that transformation to be completed. And there is a great amount of risk involved in this legacy infrastructure that is in place today. And it basically opens up a great amount of risk for any business to lose its data and being compromised.
And something else we've got to mention, of course, on this topic is zero trust models, because they've been top of mind for security experts. But I know a lot of companies have run into problems because it sounds simple to implement, but they quickly run into a few complexities along the way. So are there any practical ways businesses can begin to implement or even think about zero trust that you can share any insights around today?
Yeah, this is actually a great question. So first of all, let's understand what is zero trust. Zero trust is a buzzword. Everyone is using zero trust. The way that I describe it usually is that we had the site-centric security that I described in previously here in the show, which we have appliances and infrastructure that is protecting in the office, right? Whatever in the office is protected, you are in the office, you can access all the resources. What happens when you go outside the office? And zero trust basically means to move away from a site-centric security model to a user-centric security model, right? People-centric model, right? What is the security posture for Neil? And what resources Neil can access? And how is security posture needs to look like once he's outside the office or inside the office, right? To provide a unified security model where it applies to people, right? And allowing you to break up your corporate network and to have a segmentation. Every person in the organization can access only the items that he needs, while keeping all the other resources of the companies invisible and protected from the open internet. And this basically connects, right, to the shift and the revolution that companies need to do in their security implementations, right? You need to understand that the site is no longer relevant, right? There is a new perimeter. You need to build your security in the new perimeter. You need to deploy a unified security policy to your employees no matter where they are, right? And you need to protect your resources no matter where they are, either in the office or in the cloud or a SaaS application. And how you can basically build a model that has that interaction, right? An interlock between all the different security policies and items to a one policy that is truly people-centric. And that basically, I believe that the zero trust connects to basically the way that companies need to rethink the security, the networking, and utilize all the great benefits that today in the world, right? The fast internet, the broadband internet, the fact that you can move away from hardware-based solution to software-based solution. It's much cheaper. It doesn't require you to have expensive IT and security staff in place. You can manage everything from anywhere very easily and increase productivity and security. So this is definitely something that companies needs to look like as soon as possible and put on the radar to be attended now.
And as we look towards the future, what is Perimeter 81's vision? Where's the company going? And is there anything upcoming that you might be able to share with us, or anything we should be keeping an eye out for?
Perimeter 81 is a platform to basically allow businesses from any size, small, medium, and large, to build their secure corporate network over the open internet. Okay. We started with building that platform, which is a network as a service. We then developed lots of features and great solutions around remote access, how to allow employees to access the remote resources in replacing VPNs. And we had a great success and have been named as a leader in the ZTNA report by Forrester and have 2,800. But last year, we have started to develop our use cases into internet security, right? How to protect your employees while they're at home and browsing the internet from phishing, different malicious websites, malware, and so forth. And we are continuing to develop that angle as well, including malware protection, SaaS security, CASB, to provide even IT tools for digital experience monitoring, so you can see the quality of the network, the devices that the employees have. But we're really looking to building a unified platform. We call it the Office 365 of cybersecurity, that is composed of a single management console that is in the cloud, a single network, and a single agent, right? Imagine what Office 365 did for Word, Outlook, and so forth, and drove them into a single unified SaaS solution that is very easy to consume no matter where your employees are. We'd like to do to cybersecurity. And we make sure to work very closely with our customers. We have 2,800 customers to have a continuous feedback loop in order to develop our product market fit, understand what solutions they need more, focusing on that, and deliver a great product and user experience.
Love that. And of course, we started the podcast today talking about your origin story and how you got into this business. But as we've come full circle, I want you to look back one more time, because none of us are able to achieve any success in our careers or lives without a little help along the way. So is there a particular person that you're grateful towards who may have helped you get where you are, or just invested a little time in you, or helped you, or even saw something in you and put you on this path? Is there anyone you'd like to give a little thank you to?
Yeah, there are many people that we can thank, whether investors or board members, everyone. But I think that the two people that I would like to mention, one is my wife, Orly, that is working with me for a long way and suffering all the ups and downs along the way, as well as my co-founder, Sagi, that we worked together for a long time throughout Safer VPN and Perimeter 81, and took us so far in the journey.
A great answer there. I'm glad you mentioned your wife, because our partners do. They see more of what we do than anybody else, including all the stuff that nobody else sees. So it is so important to recognise that. And for anyone listening, can you, if they want to find out more information about Perimeter 81 or anything we talked about today, or keep up to speed with the work that you're doing, what's the best starting point for everything?
Best way is to go to the website. There is a live chat. We have 24/7 team security consultant that can really help and attend any pain or thoughts or use case that the customers are needing. Just go to perimeter81.com. There's a live chat. You can leave us a message. You can schedule a demo, whatever. It's very easy to use and clear.
Excellent. Well, we covered so much in a short amount of time today, but more than anything, just a big thank you for taking the time to sit down with me, sharing the story behind the company. We covered zero trust, your vision for the future, and so much more. But more than anything, just thank you for sharing that with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
As I said at the very beginning of this podcast, one of the things that put today's guest on my radar was that reality that our world and the way we work has dramatically changed over the last few years. So why hasn't our approach to cybersecurity? And what are you going to be doing differently? How are you changing your approach to cybersecurity? Or do you think that your existing approach to cybersecurity is perfectly fine, thank you very much. I'd love to hear all sides of this story, because you've heard from me, you've heard from today's guest, and I want to get your voice on here. So please email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com. If you would like to send an audio message, connect with me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram @Neil C. Hughes. Hold your finger on the audio button and send me a voice message that we can play on this podcast. I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability, of course. And if you also want to browse through over 2,100 interviews that we've got through now, or even learn more about how you can work with me, please remember, drop by the website as well, techblogwriter.co.uk. So if you want to leave any messages or carry this conversation on, you want to work with me, or you just want to come back tomorrow and check out tomorrow's episode, whatever it is, I'll be here waiting to serve you. So thank you for listening as always, and until next time, don't be a stranger.